Well, 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 look who decided to join the party. The party that is of free speech. That is all the rage these days. Yep, I don't know where y'all have been, but suddenly everyone's hopping on the bandwagon. And for those of us OGs, ride or die, is it too little, too late? We are going to be talking about today. Oh, yes, Zuck's meta rebrand. We're going to be talking about Blake Lively literally hijacking my friend's YouTube for the sake of her unhinged lawsuit, all the way back to Facebook's humble beginnings. How could we forget? And even a personal story I have that was on a national news level in my own damn fight. Every man for themselves, bitches, for free speech. Because you know what? Too little, too late or not, when it comes to free speech, the ones who get it, get it.
Deemed the Celebrity Whisperer by Playboy.
This is the best interview of the day.
Thanks for having me.
You hit the nail on the head.
100%.
Period, yeah.
Touchdown. They're cracking me up.
Wear them, baby.
This is good.
Taylor Ferber.
Okay, everybody, let the flat earthers reign. It is your time to shine, baby, because Mark Zucky Zuck has changed his tune and the meta fact checkers are hitting up the unemployment office like no tomorrow, okay? But first, before we get into that story of the hour, I want to shed a little light on my own personal experience because, again, I have made this, okay, my hill to die on. Like, I am fucking Julie Andrews prancing in a field of the hills are alive with the sound of music. Dating ass back, you can go into the receipts, okay? If it has not been deemed misinformation by now. The receipts of when I stood my ground. I had my free speech, alleged free speech, and point of view out there until it got lasered like Darth Vader by the powers that be in the entertainment business and Hollywood elite. What am I talking about? So years ago, some of you may know this story. I wrote an op-ed calling out Chrissy Teigen for being a big fat cyber bully. No regrets, okay? But I wasn't bullying in the piece. I was just calling it as I saw it. I was like, girl, what is going on? Again, like, this is the epidemic of mean girl era. I said this on Instagram. That is over. We are done and tired of this baby brat bitch behavior, not brat in a Charlie XCX way. And like all of this, we may have seen it for a while, but now suddenly, well, hallelujah, amen, the truth is coming to light. Well, there's an awakening, but some of us have seen it, for a decade now. But Chrissy Teigen was on her mean girl shit and I called it out because I was like, it's hypocritical, bitch. You're saying you're getting bullied. You're bullying the internet, like literally telling them to kill themselves. Like the math ain't mathing. It's not adding up, right? So that was my view. And I even offered in the piece, I was like, here are some things that you can do, to be a little more productive in this combo. But no, she shut that shit down like Chinatown, like Wuhan so fast, was coming at me, coming at VH1, the platform the article was for, and basically like the suits at VH1, Chrissy Teigen, like they had me suspended. It was a whole thing, right? So much for my free speech then. And you may know this, but out of principle, I walked my ass out of that company out of principle, right? Because again, it's like, and now again, this is all the buzz and all the rage, even with the potential TikTok ban. We'll talk about, oh, First Amendment, right? This, the other one. Well, yeah, guess what? I was about it then and I'm about it now. So I walked away. Okay. So that's kind of like a preview in the moral of this story is that it's only free speech when the gatekeepers decide it's what's acceptable or okay, i.e., COVID bat market misinformation or not, okay? i.e. Hunter laptop story, again, or lack thereof, okay? That fell into the San Andreas fault. And so it was then that I decided that as a journalist, as a thinker, as a writer, don't tell me what I can and can't say.
Don't tell me what to do.
Who are you? Who are you in your little desk on the 51st floor? I don't give a fuck. And so that rang true through so many of my endeavors, whether it be interviews that people may have thought were inappropriate on the red carpet, or even in my Playboy feature where I literally say this, like, don't tell me what I can and can't say. And I detail these stories in which editors tried to cock block me, change the narrative, make it their narrative, whatever the reporting was. And so no mo, no mo, like a bunch of this, no mo. Listen, I'm feeling a type of way because I've been saying this, and all these people who are coming around it now, even the people chiming in on the Blake Lively Baldoni thing, commenting on my stuff, they're like, yes, the truth is coming out. I'm not going to be mad. I'm not going to be mad. I'm just going to call you fashionably late. That's okay. You're fashionably late to this party. But what I have to say about this, guys, being somebody who has been in this battle in media for years, right? And I understand what it's like to come up against all these forces. Like literally be it an AI bot who claims your hair color misinformation or an editor at wherever it may be. Is that free speech, and I learned this with my Chrissy Teigen experience, is messy.
You want me to be, 'cause I'm too messy, and then I'm too fucking clean.
Yes, that song, I'm too messy. Yeah, we're all messy with free speech, but you know what? Life is messy. Humans are messy. And the problem with this whole thing is that the powers that be, I don't care if it's the Biden administration, I don't care if it's Zuck before he started blinking, they want to clean it all up. They want to control and it's like, too bad, bitch. Life is messy. My opinions about what was going on with Chrissy Teigen, it was messy. She didn't like it. My editors, even though they agreed with me, they may not have liked that she didn't like it. It put their ass on the line. Like, who approved this, right? Too bad. Truth hurts. The shit is messy. But here we are. So roll your sleeves up. You can do it. And are we ready for the mess? And that's something to really ask ourselves today, because we have all fallen victim to this princess privilege. I don't give a fuck, DEI privilege, this shit, that, the other thing. We are all in 21st century princess privilege. We need our feelings attended to. We need everybody to agree with us. We'll get a fucking grip and buckle up, not so much anymore. And in fact, this should tell you something, because not if Mark Zuckerberg has something to say about it. So buck up and too bad. You know, we all got to grow a pair, or maybe put them back, grow a pair and then put it back in like Caitlyn Jenner. I don't give a but all I know is it's time to step up, and too bad. Like, this is so indicative, even at a more granular level, of how we operate. Like, God forbid, we see or hear something that makes us feel unsettled or rattles us. Like, grow up. It's the real world. So with that is my sermon of the day. The only braless minister you saw this side of the Mississippi. No, the meta story. Okay. So speaking of minister, like, you are going to have the CNN of it all, the mainstreams, I'm sure even the Rolling Stones, like the former fact checkers at Meta, whose sidebar, a lot of them are ex-CNN employees. You're going to see them in church praying for the fact checking to come back. You're going to see them praying for answers that are in their arbitrary fact checking dreams, okay? Because Mark Zuckerberg, also late to the party, is up to what a lot of us have been predicting for years, that if you're going to label this, that, and the other thing, everything under the sun, as misinformation arbitrarily, and let's be honest, hold the fist down tighter on conservatives and right-wing opinions, that shit is going to come in swinging. It's going to come in like in Tarzan, hot like a pendulum, and people are going to be pissed, and it's only going to last for so long, right? And it's going to almost open the floodgates for people to be like, I'm done with this shit, and want to say what they want to say and live their lives and express themselves. So Mark Zuck, albeit late, got up to speed. And a lot of people think that he is just kissing up to Trump, like kissing his ass, kissing his toupee, kissing his tan, kissing all of it, because Trump has threatened Zuck before, this, that. I actually don't think that is the case. I actually think, even though Zuck did not ask for this, and I'm going to get to this in the climax in the end, the climax of your week, trust me. I actually think that Zuck is smarter than we give him credit for. I'm going to get to that in a second. So he has caught on to the fact, and he even admitted, like, we were pressured by the Biden administration to bend at the knee and censor certain things. I mean, guys, we saw it I don't even get me started, okay, on the arbitrary timeouts I was given by these are like substitute kindergarten teachers. Okay, no shade if you are. I'm just saying across platforms, okay? I have been like, even me personally, okay? I have been given, censored, shadow ban, slap on the wrist for, a post about FDR on Instagram that was factually correct, okay, but it had to do with, quote, election, social issues. I don't know, something they made up that day. I've been same thing, had content taken down and strikes against my account, even on TikTok for, again, posting factually correct yet inconvenient to the CCP. Not my fucking problem about, Iran, what's going on over there, women, all kinds of stuff, right? And Facebook, I can't really attest to that because I'm not a boomer bitch, so I don't know what to tell you. But he has, and again, we saw this time, I had Dr. Robert Malone on my show, the co-architect of mRNA vaccine technology. He went viral on Joe Rogan during the pandemic. And of course, was not the COVID vaccine, but the technology used for it, right? And he was written off as a quack, this, that, and the other thing. But because of this administration and whoever, now it's the FBI, this, that, the other thing, arbitrary, quote, rules of, quote, truth, somebody like him, when he came on my show and even told me, had his reputation ruined, his Twitter account blown into smithereens, nowhere to be seen, his business is ruined, his livelihood ruined, all because of said misinformation. So with all that, Zuck has turned around. Like, I'm surprised he hasn't been on the latest reboot of Queer Eye, because this guy has had a makeover like I have never seen, okay? Just don't count on him being in a dress like JVN. I wouldn't think anytime soon. So you have this guy changing his tune so much that even Dana White is going to serve on the board of Meta. I know, I know. And here is why people are losing their minds, because now you don't have these fact checkers. And you know how, like, every time you go to look at someone's account or post something, it's like, well, double check. This person has posted. It's like, how about you get fucked? Okay. I have 2 eyeballs and ears, so I'm good, but thank you. And so now there aren't, he's really kind of advocating for free speech. He's like, it's gone too far. It really, was a chokehold specifically from liberal mainstream, the left onto the right, but really all around. And it's gone too far. And now we're kind of like releasing that lever, similarly to what Elon did on X. And instead of fact checking, there's going to be community notes, which is the strategy Elon Musk has taken. Okay, now this has caused all sort of a tizzy, because remember before when I said that shit was gonna get messy? I know, just call me Robin Williams in a wig like Mrs. Doubtfire. I don't even know if I can clean this shit up, but the thing is, I don't know that I want to, because here's the thing. Now, like, there have already been articles, right, about how now it's sort of the Wild West and anything goes. So you can go as far as like calling women a household object, which, like, I don't know why you would have to go to Facebook for that. Just go to Andrew Tate's fucking Twitter. But okay, like, save yourself the time. Or you can, say homophobic slurs or insinuate or outwardly blatantly say that something like homophobia is homosexuality is a mental disorder. Or even say, be discriminatory and say an entire race group, whatever, shouldn't exist. Like, all I have to say to that is, welcome to a day of being a Jew, bitch. Like, welcome again, fashionably late, but welcome. My mic felt a type of way about that one. If that is Hitler resurrecting in my mic, don't even try it, dude. People are saying this is so problematic, right? And it's like, where do you have the traffic control? The people to lay it down, the people to say this is harmful, this is that. So of course you have articles galore saying that this is so problematic, this, that. And I have to say, There were some unsung heroes in the comments of said stories. And I really appreciated one that was like, you know what? Words are just words. Like sticks and stones can break my bones. And it's kind of true. It's kind of what I was saying before. It's like, sorry, mommy can't hold your hand and, walk you to the school bus forever. Even for me as a Jew, as a woman, as whatever it is, people shit on me all the time. They'll be like, oh, you're not serious. You're dressed like Barbie. Put some clothes on. Da, da. Is it fun? Am I having a parade in the streets like Ferris Bueller? No. But you know what? Again, it's that sort of idea of like, words are words. People are shitty. They're going to do and say certain things. And that's why I understand the community notes can get, like I said, messy, but we could only hope that the betterment of humanity will come out and will reign more powerful and free after all in the end, you know? And it kind of does, again, come down to that, which is like, that in my mind is like, we talk about power of the people, that is power of the people. And people don't like that because it's like, oh, who we need we need a boss in the office. We need a principal and a superintendent here. We need a head doctor. I mean, it's always like someone in charge, which we're going to get to in the end. But it's like, do we have that little faith in ourselves that in these in or out of the community notes that we can't allow, better, stronger, positive, productive speech to outweigh the negative? I don't know. Time will tell. But it's sort of that thing of like, I'm sorry, like just like Blake Lively trying to be an Amber Heard, like you can't be coddled forever. Sorry, it's not how life works. Real world's gonna set in one way or the other, lady or ladies on Facebook who are still, I'm talking to you, boomers, okay? So that's something, it's going to be really interesting how it plays out. And even to like take with a grain of salt, right? Because Mark Zuckerberg says like a big part of this journey for him was taking no and trying to like do right by people because the Biden administration was so adamant about, how misinformation was a threat to democracy. And he's like, we just, we took that seriously. We wanted to, da, da. And when you really just stop and think about it, doesn't it sound like an oxymoron? Like, misinformation is a threat to democracy. First of all, it doesn't even make sense. All information, all good, the bad, the ugly opinions, whatever, that is a thriving democracy, number one. Number two is they have it ass backwards because these assholes have been, again, arbitrarily deciding what's information that's okay and that's democracy. But anything, even if factual, that goes up against that is suddenly a threat. Like you're trying to control and manage information and opinions and the public dialogue, a la Chrissy Teigen. Okay. But anyone who disagrees with you that's democracy. That's democracy though. Okay. But clamping down and funneling out and censoring like anything else, that's going to preserve democracy. Like, again, I already said it once, I'll say it twice, like, get fucked. Okay? I'll get you a thesaurus if you need to know what democracy means. Okay? So I think, and also it's really interesting because this episode's going to be released on Friday. And Friday is the Supreme Court hearing of what the sitch is going to be with TikTok. And I just wanted to do a little sidebar on this because, again, who would have thought like viral dancing, I'm a savage, Meg the Stallion videos would turn into a debate about free speech, right? Because the whole thing right now is security versus, quote, free speech. And that we are trying to get TikTok out of the hands of the parent company that is based in China, right? Like infiltrating all of our receipts. And it's so fascinating because, you have all these TikTokers and creators being like, this is my business, this is free speech, like my get ready with me, my dance video, my kitchen, like whatever the fuck it is. And I thought, okay, fine, like fair enough. But where is this energy from Meta and Facebook about free speech? Like, where is this energy for TikTok? Because, like I said, every other day, literally, I could be like, I have a flyaway here, and TikTok will take my video off, strike my account, and be like, no, actually, it's here. Like, I'm not even kidding. And I have found, I've said this before, that TikTok is the most like ratchet, vile, like bottom feeders of the planet because it lets all shit run wild. But they also have the tightest ass leash and censorship. So what does that tell you? It's almost like the parent who's really strict and keeps their kids on a tight leash in high school, and then they go and run wild and lash out. Versus if you're open to discussion and you don't feel that need, it's almost like that. Like Elon Musk is the cool parent, and TikTok is the really uptight, controlling helicopter parent. So in the end, having such a tight grip, like the people are gonna lash out. It's not gonna work in your favor. You need to let them run free, bitch. Run free like the stallions we are, like Free Willy, all that shit, okay? And like we will just be living in the zoo of our dreams of thought, hopefully. So that's what I thought was like, where's the difference? Like, again, where is this convo around TikTok? Like, I don't see it because that shit is like so decrepit that I can't even get started. But last note on Zuck is don't write him off as just some following the crowd guy who's, opportunistic and self-involved because he wants to cover his ass, with Trump and make more money and all this. I actually think that Zuck is, while he kind of fell into this, again, he did not ask for this, I don't think. I think he's actually always trying to get ahead of the curve and ahead of the time, right? It's why he renamed Facebook Metaverse, right? We're going into Web3. And I know you guys probably don't want to hear this like tech loser, like, jerking off to gaming in their mom's basement jargon, but it is true. And it's why I'm so fascinated and interested in Web3 and blockchain and decentralized, because what that means is for content creators, even for you guys, consumers, is we own everything. Like you talk about community notes, like I'm talking community CEO, like we own everything, not the Facebooks, not the YouTubes, not the CCPs. We do. And I actually think that Zuck is trying to get ahead of the curve, even if, because that's where we're going. It's like the Logan and Jake Paul brothers of YouTube. That's where we're at with Web3 and decentralized. Like they were at the head of the curve for YouTube. I again don't write them off as these mouth breathers as I have in the past, like in or out of the ring with Mike Tyson, like God bless him. Um, but that's where we're at now, and that's what it's ultimately going to be, right? Because again, people have had it with all this shit. So I think Zucky Zuck is a little Nostradam Zuck, and he's trying to get ahead because he knows that that's shit. That's where it's going to be at. Because then let me tell you, nobody can tell us nothing but us. Woo! I'm excited about that. Bring me on that ride. Okay, so last story about all of this is, what we're seeing with a friend of mine, Kirsty Flaw, the viral celebrity interviewer, and how she unwillingly did not ask for this, unwarranted, was dragged into the Blake Lively. I'm going to call it the flaw suit, okay? Because it is full of flaws. And as you know, Blake Lively, her whole, it was 100% a fucking hit piece in the New York Times. Let's just get that clear against Justin Baldoni. But she accuses him of many things. Don't even get me started on the Me Too of it all. Was alleged that Justin Baldoni and his team created a digital smear campaign against her, right? So as all of the press around It Ends With Us was coming out, my friend Kirsty Flaw posted the interview with Blake Lively from years prior that ultimately went viral, that painted Blake Lively in a very bad light because she was really fucking rude to my friend. I don't know how else to put it. And was just really like being feminist in a way that was going too hard. Nobody asked, like, chill out. Like, we're allowed to ask about your pregnancy. I don't think you're some like non-binary inanimate object. Like, you have sex with Ryan Reynolds, bitch, and you got pregnant. Like, sorry, we're going to acknowledge it. Like, oh God, like the horrors of being a woman. Like, get over it. But she put it out, went viral, painted Blake Lively in a bad light, not on purpose. She just put it out, right? And that's not her fault. Sorry, I used to say this all the time as a red carpet reporter in Hollywood. Like, you control how the public sees you, your answers, how you act, not me, bitch. I'm merely asking the questions. Only you control that. And we got so much flack so many times for like, if a celebrity looked bad, I'm like, they can answer however they want. They're grown-ups. But she names Kirsty in the lawsuit and insinuates that she was in cahoots with Justin Baldoni and his team. And good for my friend Kirsty. This is why this is all about free speech because again, it's like it's kind of like me with the Chrissy Teigen thing. It's like I put this out. Sorry if you look or feel a type of way, not my problem. But my friend has now like can you honestly even imagine? But as somebody on the other side of it, a couple things. One is that look, we are all in it for the numbers game. So I know I've even talked about this with my team. Like if someone is going viral, say it's like a Timothy Chalamet, it's like, okay, what can I dig up from the grave that I have with Timothy Chalamet to post it and like get eyeballs? Like it's a shameless name of the game. It just is what it is. Okay. I don't make the rules. Or do I? And I'm sure that's what Kirsty did. She was like, this is a huge story. I have this thing with her. Like, I'm going to post it and see what people think, you know? And she's also like, Blake Lively's team had the audacity to note how when the Amber Heard Johnny Depp thing was going on, Kirsty posted something with Johnny Depp too. And it's again, it's like, that's the name of the game. But they have no factual basis behind this. Merely they know that they are the powerhouses they are and they can just get away with anything. Like there's no basis for this. And yet, and my friend has said in interviews, and I think it's so classy and firm and eloquent. She was like, basically, I'm being made to be a pawn in this entire thing. And basically, shame on Blake Lively, Ryan Reynolds, all of them for knowingly using their power and bringing me into this. Like, I'm just the journalist. You guys are the powerhouses, and you're making me look a certain type of way just for posting an interview, something I had nothing to do with, and you know it. And she's like, I can't even like defend myself. I mean, she can go on these outlets and talk about it, but it's like when you think about the stage between them and her, like, it's such bullshit. It actually really is. And it reminds me, I'm sorry, it's all of this. Like Blake Lively is Chrissy Teigen, is the fact checkers, is the Biden administration, is, you know, big pharma, is all these fuckers. It's like they want to silence you when it benefits them. And no more. No more. So I can't even believe that her interview was weaponized by these people in that way. Again, they think they can just have no repercussions, but I say no. The truth always comes to light. Again, even if it's like all these people a little fashionably late sometimes. So, with that said, right? In this entire debate, I really think to myself, what are the people who are advocating? It could be, you know, the Amanda in your apartment complex. It could be the Sally in your cul-de-sac. It could be a CNN opinion writer. Like the people who are so unnerved and freaked out by, oh my God, everyone can just say what they want. No, we need order. We need like it makes me think the people who want to control speech and what is said and what is heard, what are you protecting? What are you protecting? What is so scary about allowing people to say what we think? Again, the good, the bad, the ugly, discern for ourselves, populist power to the people, community notes of it all, and go from there and really decide in a communal, in a democracy type way. Like, what are you protecting? Are you protecting us? Are you protecting yourself? It's got to be something because you're going extra and you're trying really ass hard. And that got me thinking that with all of this, there are really two types of people. Remember earlier, it all comes around in this kooky yellow red brick road of mine. Remember I said like the ones who get it, get it. It's almost like there are two types of people. There are the people who want to be controlled. They need order. Otherwise they flip out. Or it's the people who want to be free and just get it. And that's really at the crux of it all, the battle that we are seeing right now. Hopefully, it is survival of the fittest. We shall see about that. But speaking of survival of the fittest, all of this got me thinking about how Mark Zuckerberg has become this, again, like traffic patrol of free speech. let's not forget how Facebook started. Facebook started in a dorm room at Harvard as a means in the conception of the web for college guys to rate girls based on how hot they were. Okay, now suddenly this guy has become the end all be all Zeus of human dialogue, communication, and cultural ideas in society, right? So he did not ask for this. But at the crux of it, when you think about it, it kind of is what this is all about. Rating hot girls or not. Let's get back to the basics. It's like power and voice to the people. Again, even if it is rating hot girls, something primal in that, something that people who want to be free just want.